U.S. trading partners are keeping a close watch on developments in Washington after the Supreme Court delivered a rare, stinging rebuke on the Trump administration and its tariff policy. Many welcome the ruling that struck down the Liberation Day levies, but are still awaiting clarity on what it means for bilateral and global trade. Making things more confusing, a defiant Donald Trump has imposed a new 10% global levy on imports. In Asia, South Korea says the ruling has raised uncertainties about exports to the U.S., but it says the conditions that Seoul secured with Washington under a tariff agreement remain intact. The industry ministry says sectoral tariffs on automobiles and steel were not affected by the Supreme Court's decision. In Hong Kong, the territory's Financial Services Secretary called the additional 10% tariff a fiasco and serves to underscore the city's unique trade advantages. The Taiwanese government says it is closely monitoring the ruling and that the initial impact on the island appears to be limited. Taipei saying they have already secured preferential treatment for all sectoral tariff items. The European Union said it is closely analyzing the ruling. Its trade spokesperson says the bloc is now in contact with the White House for clarity on the next steps, while calling for stability and predictability in trade. French President Emmanuel Macron said the ruling by the court showed that it was good to have checks and balances in democracies, and that Paris is considering the consequences of the new 10% levy. Canada's International Trade Minister Dominic LeBlanc said the ruling reinforces Ottawa's position that the levies were unjustified. Mr. LeBlanc also noted that Canada's steel, aluminium and automotive sectors are still affected by sector-specific duties. The UK expects its privileged trading position to continue. The two countries signed a trade deal last May that lifted tariffs on UK steel and aluminium products and slashed levies on British car exports to 10% from 27.5%. Reactions within the U.S. have been far from cordial. At least two Democratic state leaders are demanding immediate refunds. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker has sent the president an invoice for close to $9 billion for families in his state. Mr. Pritzker also sending a note that condemned the tariffs for wreaking havoc on farmers, enraging American allies, and sending grocery prices through the roof. He also warned of further legal action if the White House does not compensate consumers. California Governor Gavin Newsom has stronger words. He called the tariffs nothing more than an illegal cash grab that drove up prices and hurt working families. He says the tariffs were meant to wreck long-standing alliances and extort them. Mr. Newsom says the refunds must be paid with interest.